Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So, as we can see, this video is not about UPSC or your next attempt. It's about, in general, how is your 20s looking like and how it should look like. I wanted to do this session for a very long period of time. I've been planning it for weeks and days, but I was not able to gather my thoughts. Usually, what was happening that whenever I was planning this session, something or else was coming up in my life and I was getting caught up. I was getting distracted. And I usually believe that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And for the past few days, my cup had been empty. But then I realized that as a doctor, just like a doctor who can't ignore or who can't, say that since I'm not well, I won't be seeing my patients. Similarly, I have an obligation, a duty to help my students. So here I am with a session wherein I want to talk with you in a heart to heart way. I want to speak about certain things which is bothering in your personal life. Because yes, everything about UPSC, everything about strategy, answer writing, most of the things are already there on YouTube. But nobody's having this, heart to heart conversation, a frank talk with you all. So I want to take the initiative, and maybe I'm not doing the best job in this, but I'll still try my best. So just listen to this with an open mind, keeping in perspective that this session is being conducted by somebody who has been in your shoes, who has lived a very similar life like yours, and has gained a lot of experiences in life because of the various kind of challenging circumstances life had thrown towards me. So, yes, first I want to focus upon your age, right? So, I'm assuming that most of you who are seeing this video are in the age bracket of 21 plus, right? 21, 22, even some of you would be 29, touching 30. That's okay, I'm just assuming the age bracket which UPSC, is having for its, qualification for this exam. So your 20s, is quite a challenging time. And I totally understand that. And, it's not that the challenges will cease when you're beyond your 20s or when you become or achieve 30 or, you're in your 40s, 50s, the challenges will cease. No, that's not how life works. But, what happens that 20s is a very, dynamic kind of time. You don't know where you're standing. You're still searching your identity. You're still in a very transformative kind of phase. You have a lot of, older beliefs crumbling down, older belief and value system crumbling down. You have new beliefs, you have new value system, forming up. You are, sort of interacting a lot with different kind of people. You are really out in the actual world, right? Because still teenagers, or I would say till the you're 18, 19 years of age, your parents are taking care of your all needs and everything. And usually you live in a very shielded environment, very protective environment, and this applies to both the genders. But when you enter into 20s, and especially if you've been to college, which of course college which is outside your hometown, you have lived in a hostel, or even if even if you've been to a college, you would have come across a lot of circumstances, a lot of different things which have, influenced you, which have, you could say, transformed you also. So your 20s is a time where, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of challenges. You don't know what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to follow some ethics, follow some moral codes? Or you need to just, drastically become a very cunning, evil person. Like, you're just dilly-dallying into the both extremes. So you're just a sort of a gray person right now, where every day, new challenges, new things are coming up. But the problem is that, because of this, your vulnerability in your 20s, you are also one particular category that can be easily distracted, that can be easily influenced, that can be easily manipulated, right? And this vulnerability is your strength and is your biggest weakness. Vulnerability is not all of the times, bad. It's good to have this kind of vulnerability because you're being open, you're accepting new experiences, you're not shutting down yourself. But yes, if, some unlucky thing happens, then in a way, you are vulnerable to a lot of bad things. And that is why your 20s can really change your life. I'm not going to say that it's going to make or break you, because I think in current times, in the present century, the times that we're living in, I think age is not stopping you. So, even if you're 30s and 40s, you can truly, bring a lot of transformation, you can bring a lot of changes. But yes, 20s is where, emotional development, your, fixation of the beliefs and value system is happening. And all the experiences that you're actually having is going to, like, impact you, is going to mold you, is going to frame your character for the years to come. So, when you reach 30s, it's just that you become so comfortable in your own identity that nothing else bothers you. It's not that life gets sorted when you're in 30s and 40s. Life never gets sorted. But you grow comfortable in your skin. In 20s, you are not comfortable in your skin. You're just exploring. You're just kind of, changing yourself. Your thoughts are varying from 0 to 100 in a day, in a few moments' time. And you're prone to a lot of distractions. When I say distractions, few, of course, you already are aware of. There's a lot of different kind of addictions going on. Substance abuse. You've got addictions of, you could say smartphones, social media, apps, gaming, addiction to pornography, actually. You're addicted to people, that company, that comfort zone that you live in, that you seek for. Usually in your 20s, what's happening that now your comfort or your, cocoon, your safe zone is not your parents or your family or the home environment. It's, your peer group, or it's somebody else outside your home who pretends that they are understanding you, who pretends that they're also going through the same thing, same situation. And of course, they must be going to, because if they're peer, then of course they're also going to the same things. But then, you know, that also creates a lot of misguidance. You are vulnerable, you're prone to misguidance, you're prone to a lot of distractions, you are, you know, prone to getting under bad influence, right? And because you're vulnerable, so yes, those influence can easily turn into bad influence. When I say bad influence, people who waste your time, people who themselves are idler, people who don't believe in having any aim, any goal, any objective in life, and they tend to just, waste whatever resources available to them. Okay. So you are sort of getting distracted by such people around you. And of course, I'm not going to just make this session about the other people or blaming other people, because I believe that you yourself also have a great role to play in allowing those, external factors to distract you. True, it could be people, it could be substance, it could be phone. Your hands are picking up your phone, right? It's not that somebody else is giving you that phone in your hands. So, in a way, of course, your role is most important. But yes, we'll come to that later on. First, I want to highlight that whatever environment that you're living in, it's actually impacting you in a lot direct and indirect ways. Maybe you're aware, maybe you're not. So here I am to create that awareness. Here I am to, help you understand that it's okay to feel lost. It's okay to feel confused. It's okay to, still figure it out, because you are still a work in progress. You are still, framing your perspective on certain aspects of life, right? Then that, aspect of self doubt. You constantly self doubt. Some people are very frank, very straightforward in acknowledging that yes, they tend to self-doubt. Like every day I do get calls from my students, and they're doubting themselves that will I be able to have a career in civil services, or will I be able to do something good with my life. I don't know what career to go for. All kinds of self-doubt is there. I don't know that if I'll be able to make it. So yes, self-doubt is good, because unless until you doubt yourself, you question yourself, you introspect, you would never, never understand how you can progress, where you're going wrong, what's the right path. But excessive self-doubt, it's going to really stop you. It's going to, create a hurdle which sometimes might not be possible for you to, jump on your own or clear that hurdle on your own. So it's good to have small bits of self doubt here and there, but don't doubt yourself too much every day, every moment, because, you know, there's no use of it. If something is lacking in you, you're not good with answer writing, you're not good with language skills, you're not good with your personality, you're not good with anything in life for that matter. Still have, opportunity to work for it, to develop that skill, to improve that factor. It's not that everything is lost. You can't improve. You can always improve. The humans are work in progress. Always assume that. I am still a work in progress. I still feel a lot of things which is, I need to really, really improve. So in your 20s, be open to that. Accept that, yes, there would be moments of self doubt. There'll be moments because you're searching for your identity. Your personal identity, your self worth is still not fixed, right? You have not still made a position or a place in society. You're still being called by somebody's daughter, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, right? You are still in that phase of making your own name. So it's okay to feel all these kind of doubts. It's okay to sort of, keep on questioning yourself, but approach these periods, these ages of 20s with an open mind. And please start developing an awareness that who is talking for your benefit and who is talking for their vested interests. Because this learning of 20s is going to really help you in the future also. So whatever you're learning, whatever different kind of experiences you have, that's really, really going to shape up your character. That's really going to give you that kind of strength, that belief, that confidence, which will help you navigate through the world in future. Also, sometimes because of the self-doubt, you tend to procrastinate. You are doubting yourself so much that that really leads to, lack of confidence. And then you are wasting your time. You are procrastinating the work that you're supposed to do. You are, just idling away your time in unproductive work. So let's not be caught up into so much self doubt that it turns into a totally unproductive activity. It totally turns into, procrastination. It totally turns into wastage of time and years and months. Your each and every day, your each and every moment is precious. Please start acknowledging and appreciating time as a currency, time as a resource, because if you start giving it that kind of importance, you will not waste a single moment. And by wasting, I don't mean that you need to be productive 24/7. What I mean is that whatever you're doing, it should benefit you. So, different kind of addictions. You need to figure it out that is it serving some purpose or it's not serving some purpose. Alcohol, smoking, you know, drugs, all that is not going to really help you or your body. And I'm not saying this from, a morally superior place. No, I'm not here to judge you from the moral perspective, but I'm just going to tell you that some things are not good because you have to keep in mind your health. Your health is again another asset. Your brain, your physical health is another asset that you have. It's very, very important asset. It's more important that all the materialistic and all the physical assets you are currently possessing, or maybe you will possess in future because of the inheritance. Because if you have your brain with you, if you have your intelligence, intellect with you, nothing can stop you. You can turn your story from rags to riches and riches to rags depending on how you're using your brain and intellectual power. So be careful of this. Be mindful of energy suckers. Be mindful of people, of things, of situations, of circumstances who are draining your energy. Protect your energy. Create that kind of strong boundaries that really helps you start differentiating what people are saying. Are they saying it for your interest or are they saying it for themselves? Usually, most of the people have both the intentions. Sometimes it's directed at you, at your welfare. Sometimes it's, for their benefit. But at least be aware, steer away from such people who are just looking for their interest, right? So start thinking about these things. Be self-aware. So yes, your 20s are the most confusing. You are, navigating through world. You're learning your place, your position in the world. You're in that flux. You're in that dynamic, process of becoming from somebody's daughter, somebody's son to your own unique identity and place in the society. For that, you need to occasionally and frequently sit with yourself. You need to introspect. You need to be self-aware. What do I want? What are my weaknesses? What are my vulnerabilities? What are my, different kinds of energy suckers around me? What are the different kinds of, distractions I have? What can I do about it? What is stopping me from achieving my potential? What is stopping me from achieving my goal? And these all stuff, is very applicable for anything in your life. It's not just about UPSC or civil services or being an IS or IFS officer. No, that's not something, that's the sole focus of today's discussion. Whatever you do in life, currently in future, you have to always be aware. Don't let life and time pass by. Keep accountability. Where is your each and every second, each and every moment being spent on? Are you spending it on something which is productive, which is beneficial for you, or are you just wasting your time because you feel that time is the biggest resource that you have, and it's okay to waste few days and few months? No. Even if you're not into preparation of UPSC or civil services, still you need to understand that your time is very, very important. It needs to be productive. You might be investing into some skill development. You might be investing into some learning of different kind of courses, maybe driving, swimming, whatever you want. You are investing your time into gym, physical health. That's also okay. But don't just waste away your time through some activities which are here to just distract you. All these new technologies, gamings, smartphones, different kind of apps, all those are just acting as a distracting tool, because a population which is distracted will never find time to ask real questions. And it's not just questioning the government, it's questioning about yourself, what you are doing. You don't need to be a client or a customer. You could turn the table. So, if you're not buying a product, you are the product. That's something that you should always, always remember, right? So all these distractions, all these addictions are going to really, really not benefit you in the long scheme of things, right? So accept that whatever is happening, and this is especially for those students, who are facing a lot of personal challenges, maybe some financial constraints, maybe their father's, supposed to get retired. There are some health issues in the family. One of your family members is afflicted with cancer, like different kind of diseases and all, and you are not able to figure it out, like what's happening, what should I do? Nobody's there to tell you what should be you be doing, because people are busy solving that crisis, that problem in your family or in your life. But how your approach should be, what is your mindset, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's there to guide you on that. So Instead of like, of course, looking outside for guidance, for motivation, bring that guidance from within. See what best you can do. And please remember that every crisis, every situation, every difficulty is temporary. Trust me on this. I myself have seen a lot of things. And, because it's not just my own life experience, I'm the youngest in my family. And I have observed my parents, I have observed my sisters, I have observed my friends, I've observed my students, and, different, even my colleagues, my ex colleagues for that matter. And I'm telling you, everybody's life is having some sort of issue or a challenge. Some people cry about it, some people don't show about it. They don't, even reveal that what's going on in their life. That's their choice, that's their call. There's nothing harm in discussing, there's nothing wrong in discussing your challenges. There's nothing wrong in hiding your challenges, your difficulties, because that is just how you approach life. That's your, individual approach towards life and towards people. But then you yourself should be strong enough to handle such kind of crisis. So first is acceptance. Accept that things will happen. There are going to be situations which are outside your control. You don't know how your future or your tomorrow is going to look like, but you do know how your present is looking like. So focus on your present, accept the favorable times with gratitude. If you're facing any challenge, just have patience. Tell yourself to just, survive through that difficult challenge anyhow. And that resilience, that strength that you develop, it's going to really, really help you come out with a very stronger mindset. So people who face a lot of challenges, who go through a lot of different experiences in their 20s, they come out to be a lot stronger. They come out to be a lot resilient. What is the purpose? What is the benefit of being resilient? Because challenges to सबके life में आएंगे. Everybody's going to face challenges till the moment they die, till their last breath. But how quickly you bounce back from that challenge, from that problem, how quickly you can figure out the solution is what resilience is all about. Some people can solve their problem in weeks and months. 6 महीने लग जाते हैं सोचते सोचते कि क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या गलत हुआ, क्या सही हुआ. And some people, always sit with themselves and understand that, okay, what's happening? What better I can do? So please remove all the distractions. Start sitting with yourself without a phone, maybe a pen and a paper at max, so that you can jot down your thoughts. You can, just maybe write whatever is coming into your mind. But then learn to sit with yourself. It's very, very difficult in current times to sit with yourself. Sometimes even, it happens with me. I'm not here to preach you. It's just that I'm here to tell you that maybe I have started controlling few of the, weaknesses or few of the vulnerabilities I had. But I'm not a perfect person. But here I am to tell you, to guide you, because I didn't get that kind of, frank guidance. Nobody was telling me such things. Everybody was so busy in their own lives. Nobody, because everybody's, I would say, most of the humans have a very similar kind of life, similar kind of challenges sometimes, but nobody tells you how to navigate through it, how to actually, survive those kind of challenges. What better can be done? So here I am telling you all that. And when you're doing that self introspection, when you're sitting with yourself, when you're accepting the things the life is throwing at you, also figure out your core beliefs, what you want out of life, what is your desire. And don't go for this, I want to be an IS officer, I want to get rank one. No, we need to first accept this, that cracking the civil services is not an end, it's a means to an end. I hope you all have read about means and ends theory in ethics. So your dreams usually, okay, I want to, crack cat. I want to become a lawyer. I want to become a doctor. I want to, become a civil servant. That's not an end in itself. You want to have a career because you want to have, or you want to complete certain different kind of desires. You have certain wishes. You have certain, I would say, aspirations. You want to see your family comfortable. Maybe you just want to buy a house, you want to buy a car because for the entire life you have been living in a rented place. Or you just want to be that, that rich or that wealthy or that well off so that you can afford a private room because you've been sharing your room with your siblings since childhood. So, you know, figure it out. Maybe you just want to gift your parents something. Your mom has been planning to buy, some utensil or some, appliance which will make her life easy in the kitchen. So you have to figure out your means and ends. You have to figure out what's your dream, what's your desire, what are your aspirations, what is your belief system. And by belief, of course, I'm not just talking about the honesty point of view or ethical point of view. The beliefs could be, that in what aspects you believe in. Some believes in God, some believes in universe energy, some believes, in nothing. They just believe in science and scientific principles. Whatever is your belief system, take that belief system and accordingly start framing your life, molding your life. Because I'm telling you, even if you're religious or a spiritual person, ultimately all the laws, all the principles governing the spiritual realm, that's also, sooner or later will be able to justify it by the science. At this point of time, so much is being discovered that, eventually I believe that there would be a time where everything can be justified, everything can be explained. But at this point of time, maybe we are not at that stage. That shouldn't stop you from having those beliefs. Every person has their own sets of, fears, has their own sets of superstitions. Whatever is your belief, whatever is your superstition, follow that. Of course, not something which is, like it should be having some logic that, okay, I have seen that, okay, this is something which is happening with me. So what is the best thing I could do? So figure out your beliefs, desires, dreams, and don't say that your dream is to become an IS officer. No, your dream is something else. The dream is to have maybe, sufficient bank balance, a regular source of income. You want to maybe prove yourself. Most of the people, who pursue this exam or pursue, something, a very high rewarding career, they are usually using that career to make a name, make a position in the society. They want to prove to the relatives, they want to prove to the other people that they are intelligent, they are, something, they are human, they are something to be appreciated and acknowledged. They are not an individual to be dismissed. Many school teachers, they have instilled in us that kind of insecurity and fear that we don't have our own unique identity. And if we don't excel in certain subject, then, we are a totally worthless person. So from that fear and insecurity, you have to figure it out that what you want. Okay. So accordingly differentiate means and ends and always remember you're in work in progress. Don't think that you have lost out everything. Even if you're maybe towards the fag end of 20s, you're at, 29 and a half. Next month, you're turning 30. No problem. It's still not too late. It's never too late. So always remember that as human, as individual, you're a work in progress. Keep on working yourself. Keep on self-introspecting. Be self-aware. See, everything boils down to self-awareness. If you know what you are, if you know what benefits you, what suits you, if you know what is not suiting you, what is harmful for you, what is impacting you, what is not impacting you, how you approach life, what's your perspective, in which areas your perspective, your belief system is fixed, in which areas you are still flexible, you all have to figure that out. Okay. And do that, but do it on your own. You are on your own journey. So appreciate that journey, appreciate that unique journey that you're, moving on, and have faith in yourself. Don't constantly doubt yourself. See, there are 500,000 people there to point it out and say that, oh, you failed. We know about it. We knew that you're going to fail. Don't let people win. There are people, who are going to celebrate seeing you fall, seeing you, getting miserable in life. I don't want to use the word failure, but I'm just saying that they will see, they'll feel very joyous when they see you miserable in your life, when you're not happy, when your face is looking dull and sad, they might feel very joyful. Oh, something bad has happened in his or her life. So don't let other people push you down, pull you down. They are there, of course, doing whatever they want to do. You are here to uplift yourself every day, every single moment. Pat your back, uplift yourself. You don't need other people to appreciate you and acknowledge you. You don't need other people's acknowledgement. For that matter, I'm telling you, at a certain, after a certain point of time, you don't even need acknowledgement of your parents. Right now, I think for past 2, 3 years, I'm never, looking back to my parents for feedback, for appreciation, for acknowledgement. Of course, if they're giving it to me, it's good. I feel happy. They're appreciating, they're acknowledging. But it's not that I'm looking for validation. Stop looking for external validation. Start working for inner validation. What's your conscience saying? What is your inner self saying? Work on that. Okay. Work for yourself. Yes, I did give you an example that, there are people, who are just waiting for you to fail, who are waiting for you to feel miserable in life. But you don't have to work for their sake also. I'm just saying that stop doubting yourself. If you're not good at something, you can always become good at it by putting in that efforts. So start putting in that effort, stop procrastinating, stop, hiding yourself. Don't hide yourself. Whatever, whoever you are right now, that in itself is a big achievement. You yourself, without any, you know, achievement, or, you could say degrees and all that, is a human being which needs to be appreciated, which needs to be acknowledged. So, just have that belief in yourself that I am enough. But yes, if something needs to be improved, I will work for it. But please be careful about other people. Please be careful about your environment. Start developing resilience, start developing those boundaries where, without your permission, nobody can come inside that perimeter. Nobody can distract you. Nobody should be able to, influence you in a wrong way. Nobody should be able to waste your time, suck your energy. No, don't allow that. Okay. Now, there's another factor which I want to, talk about, and which is very, very important, which is really, influencing your and controlling your personal life, which is the family dynamics. And, I'm speaking from both perspectives. If you have good family dynamics, very supportive parents, supportive elder siblings, you are the apple of their eye, good. If you are unfortunately in a situation where the family dynamics is not supportive, it's usually toxic. Your parents are there to give you finances, to give you financial support, but maybe, they are not so emotionally supportive. Maybe you're fighting a lot of things every day. There's some conflict in the house. Every day something else is happening. Every day you're getting a call that this fight or that fight or this is happening, your sister is doing this, your brother is doing this, and your father is doing this, your mother is doing this, whatever, like it's very complex. The Indian family system is a very complex system. And I believe in one thing, that there are both sides to this angle. Due to a strong family support, people can really get successful, and on the other hand, due to bad family dynamics, you can also really get caught up into that whirlpool of emotions, get caught up into the conflict, and waste your productive years. And eventually, such people will only come back and tell you that we have given you all sets of opportunities, we gave you all sets of comforts, we gave you all kinds of resources. You never lacked anything. Whatever you asked for, we provided, but you still couldn't make it in life. So yes, you might be having all kinds of support, all kinds of, like, financial and physical and material support. Maybe you have got the resources at your hand, you've got a latest smartphone. But sometimes, it's human nature to look for things which we don't have. And you might be having material possessions, you might be having those, assets, you might be having those kind of, support, but emotional support is totally missing. So I totally empathize, I understand. But I just want to say that the first thing again is acceptance. Accept your situation, because you really can't change your family. You can't change your mother, father, you can't change your siblings. And it's not about being lucky or unlucky. Sometimes you don't realize that people who feel that they're lucky to have a family, who are, lucky to have such supportive parents, later on 10 years, 20 years down the line, they realize that I was being manipulated. I was being influenced. I was never allowed to pursue my own dreams and desires. My mother wanted to be me to be an IS officer, and that's why I was, preparing for UPSC and civil services. Like that's what you are thinking. I'm not, saying it from my perspective. So good and bad is actually just, a narrow way of thinking and narrow way of, I would say, looking at certain things. But yes, we need to acknowledge that family dynamics really influences you, really bothers you, really impacts you. So again, we need to remember, and all of you are aware of Gita ka उपदेश, है ना? अकेले आए हैं, अकेले जाएंगे. Maybe that's not the exact verbatim interpretation, but that's a reality. Whatever relationships, whatever, family that you have, that's in this birth, on this planet Earth for now. But you are here more, you're here to do something which is more than your family. So don't get distracted. Of course, I'm not saying that don't feel, love towards your parents or don't feel love towards your siblings. No, that's not the point. Please be loving towards everybody, who's there as part of your family. But if something becomes too toxic, you need to start developing boundaries. You need to start understanding that this is not working in your favor. If something is not working in your favor, if something is not working for your benefit, you need to first understand that what can be done about it. Are you supposed to ignore it because that's the best option available to you? Or you can actually do something about it. So I understand that, the family, and there are too many things going on. Just like I mentioned, that, there could be some financial constraints. There could be that, there is focus on one sibling and not on the other. There's focus on one child and not on the other. So a lot of things is just that you have to stand for yourself. Why I'm emphasizing all of this is that please be there for yourself. If nobody else is standing for you, at least you stand for yourself. Have that courage, have that voice to say what you want, what you really desire, what you are looking forward to in your own life. Because 10, 15 years down the line, it's really not going to matter what somebody spoke to you about you, 10 years back, 15 years back. Did your family support you? Did not support you? It's really not going to matter. Eventually, in a way, just accept that every person has certain set of challenges going on, and maybe family is one challenge life has thrown at you. So just acknowledge, understand, move on, stop getting impacted. Please draw healthy boundaries. Don't get involved into a lot of conflict which is happening. Don't get involved into family affairs, like, relatives coming in there and this is happening and that cousin is happening and whatever. Like, just start focusing upon yourself. And if something is good, good. If something is not good, you need to just accept it and see what you can do about it. If something can be done about it, please take an action. If something cannot be done about it, accept it, ignore it, try to avoid interactions. Just don't let toxic people enter your perimeter of happiness and peace. Okay? And yes, parental support is important, but sometimes maybe you don't get it. So it's okay. And it is very phase dependent also. I've seen the same parents being very supportive during your 10th, 12th, or even your graduation, or maybe during your JE joint entrance and maybe, your NEET exam. But they're not supportive, once you're 23, 24, 25. And this applies to both, boys and girls. They are more worried about maybe your marriage. They are more worried about, how good a career you have because they can show it off to their relatives. So all kind of, things are there because, I'm speaking in a very generalized way. I'm trying to include all sorts of challenges people are facing, students are facing. It's not that I'm harboring negative, thoughts about family. No. Here, my focus is that in my experience, I've come across a lot of people where parents become the most toxic for their children. So you need to just be aware, you need to accept it, and you need to really, really develop resilience and strength to be able to say no at times. Don't always be a yes person. Yes will not make you reach someplace. Sometimes more no's have to be said than yeses. So learn to say no. Learn to say no to your family for unnecessary attending of weddings and festivals and this and that and wasting your time. Start learning to say no to your friends who are here to just waste your time just because every day they want to waste 1 hour for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, or just because they are not feeling good. They just had a fight with their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever is there. Okay, everybody has their own set of challenges. You need to figure it out what situation you are in and accordingly see for yourself, right? Also, apart from the negative, family dynamics, I also want to emphasize upon the aspect of parents' expectations. Now, please understand that when, and it's always about, who is in what shoes. Right now, you are on the other side. Maybe when you become a parent you will understand that, okay, what was happening, and your parents were coming from a good place, but maybe something, the way they were conveying it to you was not supportive enough, or was not something that you were actually able to take. But please understand that parents, whatever their expectation is, let them have their own set of expectations. You have your own set of expectations, and don't worry about, you know that they are investing in you, they are putting money in, your education, in your career, in your coachings and all. That's, in a way, their duty. And of course, I'm not saying that start wasting the money. No, that's not the point. Of course, be, very judicious with whatever resources you have, be it money, be it any kind of resources that you have. But please don't start, worrying about that my family is investing so much, into me. They have, given a lot of money in coaching, and here I am still not able to, achieve something in life. It's okay to invest something in, which is going to help you build a career. It's okay to invest in education. It is okay to invest in skill development. You can always pay them back. If money is your concern, if, you feel that the common assets, the common material assets of your family is getting wasted on you, you can always pay them back. You can always, reimburse that asset. Trust me, like, I think whatever my father was, retired when I had started preparing, was already retired when I had started preparing for this UPSC exam. And yes, I had resigned from a job, but, of course, even I was very, I would say, misguided, or I was not serious enough. I did not do any savings from my previous job. So when I came to UPSC, I was able to do it only because, of course, my father was there to support me. But, even when I was not able to become an IS officer, still by doing a job in a previous coaching suite, I was able to actually earn all of that investment that I had done. My, expenses in staying in the old Rajendra Nagar, my expenses of, the various coaching, the courses and everything, all that I was able to, get back through my job, through my income, through my salary only. So please don't worry about it. Even if you become an IS officer, if you don't become an IS officer, if you don't become a civil servant, still you will get an opportunity to reimburse. You will get an opportunity to pay back. You will get an opportunity to, you know, multiply your wealth, multiply your investment. So don't worry about this thing. Don't let it bother you so much that you stop studying, that you're constant in a, in a self-doubt. You're constantly just, worrying about what, again, let me save 500, let me save 100 rupees, let me save 50 rupees. Don't get into that. From the parent's perspective, I'm telling you, even if I become a parent today, I just want to see my child flourish. I will not even use the word successful. I just want to see my child, feel happy, feel good about something, feel, um, peaceful, joyful. So it's not about that parents are investing money and you are getting worried about it. No, they know that, okay, certain things are costing you or costing the family. That's okay, because everybody comes at a price. You have to shell out money to get something. You can't get everything for free. So, in a way, it's okay for them. They have already accepted it. Don't take it upon you. Don't take it as a burden. Because I've seen many students, having this thing. My, parents have already invested a lot. My father is retired, or my father is going through a financial crisis right now. I might not be able to, continue preparation. I have to look for a job. And of course, that's okay. That's something that, if something, such a grave situation has come up where, there's immediate, need of money, of course, you have to then prioritize. I'm not saying that, keep on wasting your money and all that. No, I'm not saying in that perspective. It's just that I'm asking you not to over doubt yourself, not to put yourself under so much of pressure that already a lot of investment has been done and I've not been able to pay back. I've not been able to, I don't know if I'll be able to pay back. You will be able to pay back. Trust me on this. If not through becoming a civil servant, maybe through something else. Everybody is doing a job, has a career. You need to see what kind of career. Is that career reward worthy? Is that career, giving you that kind of satisfaction, that contentment? Is that crediting of the salary every month helping you focus on other stuff, on other things, maybe your parents' happiness? Maybe you want to help your, younger sibling in their education, in their maybe pursuit of competitive exams. So you will always get an opportunity. Trust me on this. आज के जमाने में पैसे कमाने में इट्स वेरी इजी. ऑफ कोर्स कम पैसे कमाने में ज्यादा उसमें एक डिफरेंस है, बट पैसे कमाना इजी है. इफ यू आर रिमूविंग योर ईगो, यू कैन अर्न मनी. But don't ruin your present just by putting yourself under that kind of pressure that, oh my God, a lot of investment of my parents and a lot of, money and all that. And I'm still not some place where no, I'm still not at that place where I should be. And I don't know if I'll be in the future or not. Let your parents take that headache. Let your parents take that worry. They are here to guide you, to help you. Let them fulfill their responsibility. Your job, your role, your responsibility is to do the best that you can with that investment of resources. So if they have given you money for a course, for some skill development, for your expenses, be judicious with it. If you have enrolled for a course and if you're not doing that, if you're not, doing the efforts, you're not writing the tests, then of course you're not fulfilling your role and responsibility. That 10,000 of investment will come back. Trust me, it can come back easily. It can come back in one go. But if you're not doing your best, then you'll always harbor this guilt. So your parents are not investing in you to see quick returns, but they are investing in you just because they want to see you become something, become what you desire. They want you to see at a position where maybe they have not been able to achieve, maybe they have not been able to fulfill their dreams. We have a lot of such examples where parents were supposed, they wanted to become something, they wanted to do something, but they didn't have the money to fill up that form to appear for that exam. So it's not about money. It's not about, that your whatever investment that is happening is actually going to gutter or it's going to, garbage and going to waste. No, it's not. Just be careful that you're not, of course, wasting any resource for that matter. You're judicious with your, expenses. You're judicious, okay, where and what is essential. And what you can gift them actually is not money. You can't pay back the kind of money and the investment. You can just pay back through helping your, helping your father and mother have the twinkle in their eye, that peace, that, oh, yes, my daughter, my son has achieved something. They are happy in their life. They're happy in their career. Okay. So good and bad, both aspects. But mostly, I wanted to talk about this aspect, that don't please put yourself under a lot of pressure, that what is your family doing? And of course, they're doing something because that's their job. Let them do their job. You do your job. Your job is not to worry. Your job is not to become your parents' parent. Stay a child of your parent. Let them take care of you till the time they can afford to. They can, take care of you. Let them take care of you, because it's a privilege to be, getting cared for. I still miss those days when my mother used to, cook food for me, or, like she used to really indulge me. मेरे शौक पूरा करती थी. आजकल मैं उनके शौक पूरा करती हूँ. So, tables have turned and sides have changed, but it's okay. You will be given a chance and opportunity to, fulfill your wishes, your, parents' wishes. If they want to go somewhere, you want to take them to a vacation, you want to take them to a five-star restaurant, whatever, you will get a chance and opportunity. But right now, if you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure, that's something which is not useful. That's something which is not really going to help you. Okay. Now, yes, again, a very, very important part of everyone's life. I'm not going to say just your life, everyone's life, right? The relationship issues, the crush, the infatuation, the love, boyfriend, girlfriend, this and that, and a lot of, chaos happening in that area. So, nothing wrong. Okay. And I will, I'm not saying going to say that, yes, I'm actively encouraging for everybody to be in a relationship. But if you're in a relationship, if you have a crush, if you like somebody, it's okay. It's good. Because if not in 20s, then when? In 40s and 50s? No. So in 20s, this is the time, just enjoy this phase. But please don't waste time. Please don't let other person walk over you. And I'm again saying this irrespective of gender. And I'm not even talking about heterosexual relationships. I'm even, talking about and including homosexual relationships. Because yes, I had students who are, uh, homosexuals. So it's okay. But I'm just saying that, loving and getting love is the most beautiful emotion, the most beautiful thing as a human that we can experience in this world. But don't let the other person influence you, manipulate you, walk over you, use you as a doormat. Don't let them have so much control in your life that you don't know what you're doing with your life. That's where I have a problem. I have seen people breaking down. I have seen people literally, questioning their self-worth, developing a lot of insecurity, developing a lot of, fear about abandonment, about, people leaving and, breakups and all that. It's okay. If somebody wants to leave, let them go. Take it as an experience. And trust me on this. Right now, in your 20s, most of you, a large percentage of you all, will not be in a permanent relationship. You're still in a phase which is changing, which is dynamic, which is in a flux, because you yourself don't know what you want, what you're looking for in a partner. Sometimes, somebody's personality influences us. Especially in 20s, we are very, very prone to, getting influenced by somebody's exterior, somebody's, external personality. Somebody has good oratory skills and somebody is very frank with teachers and they can stand up in the class and ask doubt and you're impressed. Oh my God, such confidence. So anything can impress you. So it's okay. But don't turn it into something serious because it's not going to be serious. It's the relationships that you have in your 20s, the friendships that you have in your 20s have very, very low chances of turning into a permanent relationship. And that is why you have seen people who have, gotten married into early 20s or, even mid 20s, and they have gotten divorced by, by the time they have reached their late 30s or so. So it's actually said, like in a joke, it's said that if you're getting married in your, 30s, you have statistically avoided your first divorce. Because that's what is, whatever relationships, whatever, friendships and whatever, things that are happening, people's interactions, all that is happening in your life in 20s, it's not permanent. Your hormones and your feelings and emotions are changing. It's changing in a very dynamic way, and you need to acknowledge that. So don't get, fixated. Don't get infatuated. Don't pin your, security or insecurity or fears because of one person. See, nobody is, accountable, or I would say answerable to you. Okay. So don't give that power to somebody else so that they can manipulate you, they can influence you, they can, twist you in whatever way they like. No, you need to be so, so confident in your own skin, your own self, have that, self-worth, that confidence, that identity, that nobody, era gara matu gara can come and, disturb you. No, don't give that power to them. Right? So it's okay, except that it's that phase where maybe every week you will have a new crush and new infatuation, and you're actually, you're interacting with a lot of people. You're getting an opportunity to know that so many different kinds of people exist with their own set of insecurities which they project on you. And yes, I'm also not assuming that you guys are very innocent, that, oh, somebody else is, torturing you and you are to ekdam Sati Savitri and doodh ka dhula and doodh ki dhuli. No, I'm not assuming that. But yes, sometimes, we think that we are very clever and nobody can say anything to, and the entire family members, they are frightened of us, of our moods and egos, and that person is getting defeated by somebody else. That particular person is letting somebody else outside their family literally, ruining their mood, their peace of mind, nights going into conflicts and fighting and all that happening just before the exam. Have you ever thought of this thing? Why do most fights happen before a crucial time or crucial exam, or before a crucial day? And especially if you're, the partner, or your, the other person is actually, if you is a, non UPSC or non, I would say, is not a serious UPSC aspirant, or even doesn't belong to UPSC. Why is that happening? Why those crucial fights, those fights of seeking attention, and you're not paying attention to me, you're not loving me, and all that is happening just before the exam? No, it's not happening deliberately. It's just that that person is not mature enough to understand that right now your priority is something else. Please make career, please make your self development, please make yourself a priority. Because trust me, 30s के बाद तो वैसे भी फैमिली, मैरिज और बाकी सारी चीजें, प्रायोरिटी बनती ही हैं. And again, with respect to both genders. Boys have to earn and take and get married and take care of, the family and everything. All that, cycle is going to happen. From women perspective, also the same thing is going to happen. So both the genders are, caught up. यहाँ पे कोई स्पेयर नहीं हुआ है. ठीक है, पेट्रियार्की छोड़ दो, दोनों की लगी पड़ी है. So, but it's about that in your 20s, use this time to understand yourself. Use this time to, you know, frame a strong relationship with yourself. If you're comfortable in your own skin, if you're able to, sit alone and not feel lonely, that's the kind of, strength I'm talking about. And it's good to have, friends. It's good to have network. It's good to have, it's good to socialize. It's good to have relationship. It's good to, love somebody and getting loved, in return. But don't, whenever it's something which is, turning toxic, something which is, very confusing, something which is, making you really, really get distracted from your original path, from your goal and desire. See, your goal and desire is not to get into a relationship. I'm sure if I'm going to ask any random, student also that what's your dream desire, it won't be that I want to get married next week or I want to get into a relationship next week. Yes, we all crave that intimacy. We all crave that love. We all crave that emotional bond and connect. But it shouldn't come at a cost of something which we actually desire, which we actually, want for ourselves. And let there be a phase, let there actual be, a year, a phase in your life where yes, you are craving for relationship, you are, craving for a strong connect with somebody else, another human being. But this is not the right time. Even if you develop a relationship, trust me, sometimes it's going to backfire. It's going to, not something, it is not turning into something of a permanent nature. So, and if you're already married, like, I have students who are married. So, please invest into your relationship so that your partner is not something that you're competing, but he's a partner in crime. It's a beautiful feeling to have that, I was just reading some random, Instagram post, and I was just, just like it was written over there that, you need to have a partner. It's good to have a partner with whom you can enjoy your life. Because, randomly at 1 a.m. in the night, if you tell your parents that you want to have an ice cream or a chocolate, they will not going to take you. They're not going to drive you. They're not going to be there. They'll be like, it's okay. Maybe at max eat Maggie or chocolate or whatever is, there in the house, in the kitchen. Just eat that and sleep. We'll go, in the daylight, or we'll go, next day. But when you have when you're an adult, when you're, in a proper relationship, when you're married also, you can always wake up your partner and say, oh, I want to go something, and I would just like want to go visit this place and have this thing. So have that, feeling that you are going to look for a partner who's going to become a partner in crime, who's going to be as a companion, as a support system in all of the things that you're going to do, the good, the bad, the worse. At this point of time, it's very difficult to have that kind of partner right now because everybody is busy building up their life. Everybody is busy building up their career. So, feelings of, or expectation of permanency, expectation of, your, attention, or expectation of, uh, keeping you as a priority, or keeping the other person as a priority and not, the other things as priority. This is unfair. 20s में ये बिल्कुल मत करो, 30s 40s इस काम के लिए करते रहना. ठीक है. So enjoy the phase, enjoy your 20s, but don't let anybody ruin your entire year, your months, your certain age, just because you gave them a lot of importance which they did not deserve. And please be mature, start acting mature in your relationships. If you are into a relationship, please try and understand somebody else's perspective, somebody else's position. Let other person also understand in what position and perspective you are currently you are holding. You need to tell them clearly that exam is due, my priority is going to be my exam right now, you need to support me. So have these kind of frank conversations, and it's really going to help you. Okay. So ultimately what I'm going to emphasize is that you're too young to decide your partner now. Okay. Because you are yourself not having a fixed identity at this point of time. You are getting influenced by exterior, you are getting influenced by an external personality. There would be a moment in time where you would start appreciating the other person for their nature, for their behavior, for their empathy, for their problem solving skills, for their maturity, for their, the kind of experiences they are bringing in their life, the kind of thoughts, belief, values that they hold. So wait for that time. Otherwise, you are just going to be caught up into again, a big problem. And God forbid, but that is why, we have so much of divorces happening. Like within 1 year of marriage, within a 1 year of, relationship, people are getting divorced. Why? What's happening? Okay. So please take your time to understand what you really want, what you expect, what you look for in your partner, what you are actually yourself, even you need to understand what you are contributing in a system of, two persons, two individuals coming together. What role, what emotions, what thing you will be bringing. Unless until you are figuring that out, please don't waste your time and others' time. And you also need to understand that If you have serious, commitment issues, you have serious, abandonment issues, like you're very fearful, you're very insecure that, oh my God, a breakup can totally, decimate me, can totally ruin me. I don't know what I am without this person. I don't have any support. No, you are really then, doing yourself a big, big disservice. That's really, really injustice that you yourself are doing with yourself. So you can't really depend and latch on to people like leeches and latch on to people just because you want to feel secure. So if somebody is moving away, if somebody is breaking up, if somebody is, um, doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, please let them be. Free them because they are not abandoning you. That's not the thing, but they are maybe evolving. And that's how life is. Sometimes you are very compatible with certain people in your 20s, and as the years go by, you tend to totally drift apart. That's happening in relationships, that's happening in friendships also. Are you still good friends or are you still very close friends with your school best friend? No. Most of the times, no. 99% times, no. Because you both have evolved. Maybe you opted for different, streams in 11th, 12th, and different education. And of course, you're meeting, you're catching up. Maybe, he still lives in your neighbor and you meet them in during the festivals and all. But do you think you still have that kind of bond? It's okay. It's very rare. It's very, very rare. Why? Because people evolve. People, change. People transform. And not for the bad, but for the good. So you have to understand that if people are moving away from your friendship, from your relationship, it's okay. They are finding their next lesson, and now it's time for you to find yours. Everything is a lesson, everything is experience, and it never stops. It never, never stops. Okay. So just remember this and don't let anybody ruin your peace of mind. Don't let anybody use you like a doormat. Don't let anybody manipulate you, influence you in a bad way. Okay. And then, you know, another aspect, which is an overall aspect, like every person, every person, your flatmates, your roommates, your siblings, your, family, your relatives, your cousins, anything immediate, uh, very far off, but whatever is, your social network. So people are there just fulfilling certain role in your life. As that role gets fulfilled, they have a good possibility of drifting apart. It could be that you have drifted apart. It could be that they have drifted apart. So, I have seen my many friendships really crumbling down because I drifted apart. My goal was something else. My, aim in life was something else. Their aim in life was something else. They wanted to become something else. They wanted to have different things in life. And that's okay. That's their expectation, that's their life. I have my own life. So it's natural to, drift apart from situations, from people, from friendships. So it's okay to have this concept in your life that no two individuals are going to have same journey. No two individuals are going to have same kind of life, same kind of expectations, same kind of dreams and desires. And also, it's very essential that you do not compare. Even in, in mentorships, even, in my motivational posts on my channel and all, I always tell them that you are your comparison. Are you comparing with your past self to see that have you improved, have you progressed or not? Don't compare your journey with other people. And it's not just specific to UPSC or, civil service, aspirant, but it's in generally in life. Everybody's on their own path, on their own, life path, on their own journey. And it might feel that you being an aspirant, you currently persuading a person, pursuing something that which is, not giving you immediate results. And everybody is moving ahead. They're getting married, they're getting settled, they're going on honeymoons, they're going on a vacation, they're getting a job, they're getting appraisal, they have a lot of bank balance. You haven't even started earning, you haven't even started your first salary, and they have already got a huge savings and investments going on in mutual funds, SIP and all that going on. they're getting married to the love of their life. It's okay. They're onto their, first child. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Please start accepting that sometimes to achieve things in life, and I'm not going to compare that their dreams and desires is small and your dream and desire is big. No, I'm just trying to say that if you have decided on something, it might ask out of you a lot of sacrifices, a lot of patience. Maybe getting into a job is easy. For you right now, it's the most difficult. You are, on a path which is moving very slowly. You always feel that the world has moved ahead and you're still there, stagnant, standing there. It's okay to have feelings like that, but you also need to understand that you cannot compare your speed with somebody else's life speed. Maybe their current life is happening at a higher speed right now. Things are happening quickly. Maybe they got into a job, they got into a promotion, then they're married, then they're having their first child. All that is happening within a span of 4 to 5 years, and here you are still attempting and giving the UPSC prelims, and year after year writing mains and not getting interview call, and still in the vicious cycle of giving attempts and all that. And in those 4 5 years your friend has gone, but then in their life there's a possibility that there eventually comes a time where they start feeling stagnant. They had a jump start, their graph took up, okay, but there's a possibility that after reaching a certain stage, now they feel stagnant. And then at that point of time, your life has started. You have cracked the exam. Now you are getting invited for Topper's Talk. You are, getting invited into your, village's panchayat, and you're, getting acknowledged by people around you. Now you have life, going on at a high speed. Now you're getting also रिश्तों के call आ रहे हैं, marriage मेरी बेटी से करा दो, मेरे बेटे से करा दो. That kind of thing. So you just have to wait your time, wait for your time, have patience, and please don't compare. Trust me on this. I have been in your shoes. Okay, I had stopped accessing my Facebook just because of this, because there was a point of time when I was opening Facebook every day and a new marriage of a batchmate was popping up, and I'm like, oh my god. I think you know I was sick and tired of seeing those pics. But it's okay. At that point in time, even I was, comparing my journey, just, doubting myself. Eventually, it's okay. It's okay. You are on a different path. You are on a different life journey. And it's not just because of UPSC, even something that you're pursuing. It could be something else as a career. There also, you might get the same feeling that somebody is moving fast and you are feeling stagnant. So, yes, it's okay. So you need to remember that your journey is unique and has to be undertaken by you and you only. And you can't compare your journey with somebody else's. Okay. So please don't get into comparison. If somebody is evolving out of your life, if somebody is moving out of your, network, if somebody is moving out of your life, it's okay. Let them be. They had a specific role to play in your life. Maybe their role is now over. And I've had this kind of experience with my own self experience. I'm telling you, I've had such good friendships, but then all of a sudden that friendship became sour, or we totally drifted apart. And I currently, by like, analyzing it, or in the hindsight, when I see, there's only one explanation, that maybe their role or their whatever they were supposed to, give to me, like, give that kind of support. And that was such a good friendship. They were very supportive. They had, all that emotional support, and, that compatibility was there, that, mental matchup was there, everything was there. But then maybe now our paths drifted. I was supposed to go a different way. She was supposed to go a different way. And this has happened not just once, but many times in my life. Some people might tell me that, maybe you're not good with friendships. Okay, could be. Maybe I'm a bad friend. But I've seen that something or the other happened, which literally pulled me apart. And that's okay. That's okay to accept. You cannot have permanent people in your life being there with you. There are, barely one or two people that will be with you, throughout your lifetime. Even sometimes your siblings, your parents are never there for you. They have their own life on the earth. So it's okay to accept this. Don't create comparisons. Don't go for this notion that somebody is progressing and I'm not. Maybe you are in an incubation phase and your growth will come. Maybe then they will be, feel stagnant, or there will be a point of time when they feel that nothing is going forward. Because see, after a point of time, marriage, childbirth, this and that, then their life becomes very monotonous. Their life becomes, moving around, or, children ka school and this and that. And then maybe you are having a different phase in your life, which is filled with excitement. So it's okay to accept that you're on your own journey. It's going to take your own sweet time to achieve something. And you are not here to compare your journey with somebody else's. You are here to just see what best you can do for your own life and for your own self. So comparison is the thief of joy. But yes, it is also a way to understand what are your insecurities, why you're comparing. Are you comparing the materialistic stuff? Are you comparing the success? Are you comparing the acknowledgement and the appreciation that they're getting from society and you're not getting? Nobody's asking about you right now. Nobody's asking about you in family functions. They're asking about that cousin who has maybe, achieved something big in life. It's okay. Your time will come. But trust me, if you're seeking validation from external sources, if you're seeking validation from people, from society, eventually you will feel disappointed. Because society को हर दिन कोई नया, character मिल जाता है appreciate करने के लिए. Even toppers change every year, right? The topper of 2018, 2019 is still not being called for toppers talk. Every year the topper changes. The topper talks is being conducted by some new topper. So don't go for external validation. Be comfortable in your own skin. Whatever skin you have, be comfortable in your own self, right? And yes, you are in your phase where, in that age where fear, a lot of, insecurities. It's okay. It's okay to have those fears. It's good to have that doubt. It's good to have that fear because that is going to push you. Otherwise, the moment I will feel comfortable, I will have no fears. What will I do? If I don't have something driving me, pushing me, that slight bit of insecurity, if it's not pushing me, it's not motivating me to do best, do my better, I will become complacent. I will become stagnant. So if you are on the civil services, preparation journey, you are not getting success. It's okay. This journey, trust me, is not just about UPSC or, achieving a career of civil services. In a way, your character, your personality is getting sculpted. Trust me on this. Really, really trust me on this. I always tell that if you haven't seen yourself transforming through UPSC preparation, you haven't done UPSC preparation. People change drastically. But you need to see, are you changing for good or are you changing for bad? I've seen people, you know, their spirit is breaking down. They have become very sad. They have started looking quite old. There's no twinkle, there's no joy left in their eyes. Don't become like that. Don't let the world, you know, put a lot of pressure on you that you're just, getting crushed under that pressure. Because वो pressure to hai, like that pressure, nobody can deny it. That pressure is there, but you can't let that pressure take away your spirit, take away your joy, take away your peace. Don't let that, happen. It's not worth it. Then you're not a human, then you're just a robot doing something just out of, you're programmed to do something. Then you'll not be able to, enjoy life. I sometimes see people with a deep sadness in their, on their faces. They don't even have a little bit of sense of humor left in them. They don't smile at babies. They don't smile at children. They don't smile at dogs and cats and animals. Don't become a person like that. Okay, I don't smile at humans, okay? But I still smile at babies and children and animals. Okay, it might be very awkward if I'm smiling at a human, so I avoid doing that. But yes, I hope you get the point. So Whatever fear you have, it's okay to have that fear, but don't let that fear overpower you, overrule you. This journey definitely is having some purpose. You might not understand it right now. Even if you don't become an IS officer, it's going to serve a purpose. So this journey isn't testing your knowledge alone, it's sculpting your character. And even if UPSC doesn't work out, you will. You will definitely work out. Trust me on this. It's just that whatever you have learned as part of the preparation, as part of the journey, that's never going to go waste. The discipline, the resilience, the clarity, the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience, all that stuff that you have gathered, you have gained, it will never, never go to waste. My mother used to tell me that, education, knowledge doesn't go to waste. And sometimes I used to really feel very irritated when she used to say this to me. I was like, iska kuch fayda to mil nahi raha hai. But now I realize, so don't let fear overpower you. Don't let fear crush your spirit. Don't let it crush you as a human. Keep that, peace and calm and joy in yourself alive. So that when you see babies or you see the cats and dogs, you still feel happy. Okay. And you also need to understand that everything has its own perfect timing. You can't rush things. You can't give certain things a timeline that I want to do this by this. Yes, of course. You can that okay, 26 is my next attempt. I have to, become a civil servant by that. I cannot afford another attempt. I don't have time to see and go for 27 attempt and see the final result in 28. I don't have that kind of time. But meanwhile, when during this process, trust the timing, trust the process, trust whatever is happening with you. Even if you're not a religious and spiritual person, but there is something which is happening which is beyond our comprehension. So here you are, in this, vast universe on the planet Earth as an Indian citizen, you are having your purpose. It's just that you don't have a clarity about it. It could be that that purpose gets fulfilled by becoming a civil servant, or it could be that you still fulfill that purpose without being a civil servant. But don't let fear, don't let, impatience, don't let that nervousness, that anxiety really kill you in the process. So you have to believe that everything in life has divine timing, everything in life has timing. Everything is happening as it has to be happening. It has to happen. And here I'm not going for the debate of destiny and free will and all that. If it's written and not written, no, I'm not going to go that because it's too complex. You have proofs for both the things that few things were supposed to happen and it happened. So some things are written and some things where humans have that free will. So please, you know, acknowledge that both the things are simultaneously existing. Is that we don't know what is predestined or pre-written and maybe what is free will. Maybe right now having a cup of tea is free will for me, or having a career through UPSC preparation was also free will for me. For me, UPSC preparation was not the end. It was a stepping stone towards being a mentor, towards being a guide, towards being a person who can be there for other people. So I have accepted this. It's okay. So for me, UPSC wasn't the destination. It was a part of a journey. So I've accepted that, okay, I'm still on a journey. I have not achieved my destination. It's okay. Maybe for some people, UPSC, civil services, or being an IFS officer is that destination. It's okay. So just have patience And I've given you this example, which I've given a lot of times in the essays also, that the Chinese bamboo takes 5 years underground before shooting up 80 feet in a few weeks. And in that 5 years, it's not idling, it's not wasting time, it's not waiting for some divine energy to come. No, it's building up its roots, it's building up its foundation underground. And that's what you are doing. Maybe your relatives, maybe your parents, maybe even your special person is not able to see the kind of efforts because you're building in silence. You're building a foundation in silence. But one day, people will be able to see. And it's not even about people seeing. Trust me on this. I'm not bothered about who is seeing me, who's not seeing me, who's judging me, who's not judging me. There will be a point of time in your life also where you will rise above all of this. Right now, you're affected. It's okay. There will be certainly be a time and age where you will stop bothering about what people are thinking about you. Some people take an entire lifetime to realize that. They realize it on their deathbed that nobody was bothered about them. Nobody was actually caring for, or vested in what they were doing. It was just their fear, that insecurity, that, oh my God, somebody's judging me, somebody's assessing me, somebody's doing this. Okay. So don't let your fear pull you back. Make your fear as that catalyst, that trigger that pushes you forward. Okay. And please, please don't worry about society. Please don't worry about what they're saying. Please don't worry about your extended relatives and cousins and all that. It's okay. Let them judge. Let them project their own fears and insecurities. Let them project their own, scheming and cunningness and whatever they are having, whatever, bad feelings they harbor. Eventually, it won't matter. Nobody's going to remember how many attempts and which and that. Really, it's really not going to, matter in future. But you need to remember for yourself that I was the person who didn't quit because life, circumstances, people, situations, society, time, money, all that will force you many times to quit. And when I say money, lack of money, that means. So it will force you a lot of many times in your life to quit, to say that I have had enough. And maybe momentarily, for a few seconds, you could say that I had enough. But then you will bounce back, you will come back. So don't quit. Don't quit upon yourself. It's not about showing somebody else, it's about yourself. You are going to sleep every night with yourself. So work for you, work for your own happiness, work for your own joy, work for your own inner peace and calm. Okay? Don't work for other people. Also, there are some people who are very, very low on networking right now. They are isolated. They don't have any active friends. They are not, involving themselves into any social activities. They deliberately avoid social gatherings, and that's okay. I myself had made, like myself disconnected from a lot of things. My close friends were living in Delhi, but in all of my preparation, I had just maybe met them once a year. So it's okay to disconnect because sometimes people, just like I said, that their values or their beliefs or their desires are not matching up with you. They are not compatible with you in the, mindset and thinking. And sometimes they can act as energy suckers. They can drain you. So it's okay to avoid such kind of company, but don't isolate yourself from yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't make your isolation, sort of an feeling of loneliness. Let solitude become your time for self reflection, a time for building yourself. Don't sabotage yourself. Your social break can be your spiritual rebirth. Use it to realign and not retreat. So it's okay not to have a large gathering of friends, a large group of friends, a large network at this point of time. It's okay to build silently. It's okay to disconnect yourself. It's okay to just have one or two friend, one or two people whom with you, you can interact. You're not here to network, मल्टी लेवल नेटवर्क मार्केटिंग करने नहीं आए हो यहाँ पे, ठीक है? सो इसके लिए वट एवर यू आर डूइंग राइट नाउ एक्चुअली रिक्वायर्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ आइसोलेशन, रिक्वायर्स टाइम टू focus on one thing and not get distracted. So it's okay to have a small group. It's okay to have no group. It's okay to have an empty call list where the only number is of your mother, or maybe one other person, or maybe your maid or your cook. It's okay to have that. Even I have, if you check my call list, I have just two or three people, actual people. Otherwise, it's all spam call, all spam calls. Like my personal number. Of course, official mein to, I have students call list. But my personal, call list is just like it tells me I am so so. But it's okay. I've accepted that. That's my choice of, living the life. Because I don't believe in interacting with a lot of people and getting my energy drained out. I'm very, very careful about my energy. I've said this time and again with, in my personal mentorships and one-to-one mentorships, that I'm very careful about my energy. Where am I putting that energy? Because I have a lot of things going on in my life. So, I have to be very careful. I have to save that energy to do something for my parents, or maybe, I have to take my mother to a, doctor. So I cannot be a person who is, drinking and boozing, and sitting in the clubs and, lounging around till 2 a.m. in the night, because next morning I have responsibilities. I have certain things. But that doesn't mean that I'm unhappy, or that doesn't mean that, I don't appreciate human connection. Yes, I have relevant, I have meaningful human connections, and that's enough for me. So please don't, feel that you're losing out on a lot of things because you don't have an active social network and social group. It's okay. Trust me, you're not losing out on a lot of things. That's just FOMO getting, being created. Nothing, is getting served, or, a good thing is coming out of a lot of interactions with a lot of people. Have meaningful conversations, have a small group of friends who you can call out for support for. You can rely on them. They have their they're mature, they understand their mental matchup, their mental makeup is matching with yours. That's what you're looking for. You don't want a lot of friends, trust me on this. So don't feel bad if you're totally disconnected right now. It's okay. It's your solitude time. It's your building time. If you're not building on yourself, if you're not working yourself, people will come and meet you and appreciate you for a few days, and they will start backbiting you and they'll start criticizing you after a few months. Because then you come out across as a shallow person, a person who has not worked on themselves, who has not worked on their personality, who has not worked on their inner development. They can only survive for few days and months in impressing the people. Okay. So don't worry about this thing. Okay. So what you have to remember is that you're not behind. You're just in a longer incubation phase. Okay. Some, children, some babies are, preterm. They are not able to complete 9 months. Some babies nowadays, they are completing 9 months and they're still not, coming out. So maybe you are just like that, who is in a longer incubation phase right now. And don't measure your life progress in months, or how much time I wasted, or I'm still doing UPSC for 5 attempts and 6 attempts and this and that, and 4 years have passed. But see what you have gained in those 4 years. You have gained a lot of knowledge, you have gained a lot of experience, you have gained resilience, you have gained patience, you have gained the understanding that things don't come easy to you. Life isn't easy. Things will not be handed over to you on a platter. That used to happen in childhood. वो मम्मी पापा कर देते थे. वो तब तक की लाइफ सॉर्टेड थी, अब नहीं है और ना होगी फ्यूचर में. And when life feels still, you feel stagnant, you need to keep on working. Don't stop your work. Keep on working on yourself. Keep on strengthening your roots, your foundation. And there will be a time, there will be a particular day where you will shoot, where you will rise, where you'll have an exponential growth. And you need to also understand that Not everything which is happening to you right now has to make sense, because you can only connect the dots. You can only understand the big picture. You can only understand your life by looking backwards. You cannot predict your future. You can't know, you can't even get a full picture right now, what's happening in the present time. But when you look backwards, then only you will understand, okay, this happened, it led to this led to that led to again this, and that's how my life is coming together. I don't want to divulge personal details, but there have been many, many, instances in my life, in my career also, and in my personal life, where, you know, few things when they were happening, it wasn't making sense, but now it makes a hell lot of sense for me. It makes a really, really, it gives me a different perspective altogether on life. And at that point of time, I was just cursing. I was just, complaining every day. Why this is happening? It doesn't make sense. Now it makes sense. So it's okay. Accept whatever is happening. Do your best every single day. Don't let any situation, any person, anything outside of you take benefit of you, take advantage of you, ruin your self-worth, ruin your confidence, fill you up with insecurities and fears. No. Please don't allow that to happen. Even not, to your siblings and your parents. Sometimes I've come across, toxic siblings and, toxic sisters and brothers and parents also demeaning you, degrading you, telling you all sorts of things and telling you that you're worthless. No, please don't, accept that. Start saying no. Start saying that I don't accept this. It's very, very essential. You need to learn to stand for yourself. Nobody else would. Nobody else would stand up for you. You need to really, really learn to stand up for yourself. Okay? I hope this was something which was useful. You learned something. And I hope whatever I discussed today, you're going to implement in your life. And on that note, I wish you all the best. I give you my good blessings, my all positive, wishes so that you enjoy your 20s. Just accept whatever life is throwing at you. Every challenge is going to give you a lesson, it's going to give you an experience, the benefit of which you will reap later on. But that benefit is going to be there. Okay. So, on that note, all the best, everyone. Keep studying, take care, and learn to stand up for yourself. Right? Bye bye.